Oh, hey there. Hello, Diet Rebel Scum and Diet Rebel Scum Curious. Diet Rebel Scum being those of us who have taken the food pyramid and said to hell with that. We think it's wrong. Very wrong. We are not eating high carb, low fat. We are eating high fat, low carb. I almost messed that up. I never mess that up. I've got my I got my cult giveaway here. It's at night. It's 9:46 p.m. right now where I'm at. And I should be in bed. But I'm going to put my blue blocking lenses on. I got a nice bright light on here, so I look all nice and pretty. Can't let all this beauty be hidden by dim romantic lights. Let's see. I had a request about my lunch, and so I took some pictures today of me preparing my lunch, and let me just share that. All right. Okay. Now, why is that ahead and not what I'm seeing? Screen share, is it the wrong one? Oh, I do not know what I'm doing. Oh, I think that was because I'm sharing a window, not a screen. Damn it. Hang on a second. Don't go anywhere. Wait, still don't go anywhere. All right. Now we need to be seeing, hopefully we're seeing my crock pot here. Okay, this is the first stage. So that's Celtic sea salt. I put a little bit of that in the bottom of the crock pot. And then this is while I'm at work at lunch. I don't cook in a crock pot at home. I cook on the stove in a stainless steel pan or a cast iron. That's my preferred thing. Okay, next I put a little bit of water in the bottom, 2 or 3 ounces, I think. It's just little, about yay deep, a little smidge. And then I take the pound of hamburger that's in frozen packs, 1 pound each. Now these other kinds they're like 1.2 or 1.3 pounds each. I do have some slightly bigger. They're tied together in threes, and they're each maybe 1.3 pounds, I think. So for some reason they're packed kind of odd like that. So I may have one of those. This is not one of those. This is 1 pound I had today. So I just take it out of the pack, and all I do is smash the corners in a little bit. So you can see that little spaces there, that's just how it comes out of the extruder or whatever it is at the processing plant. Grinds, comes out as a bunch of little strings, and they get kind of pressed together. Well, I don't mess that up. I just knock the corners in a little bit so it's more round to go into the little crock pot without touching the sides too hard. So I'm trying to minimize burning it makes it a little easier to clean, is my theory. Okay, so then I set that cooking on high, and it's got a glass lid, so I come out and look at it every now and then. And when the hamburger is done, it's a little brown on top, and it's bubbling around the side, so the water's bubbling, so I know it's like boiling temperature, 220 degrees or so Fahrenheit, I think, is boiling point of water, somewhere around there, 210 maybe. So I know it's probably done mostly all the way through. Even if it's not done all the way through, that's all right. I'm not too paranoid about it. Then I cut off, this is Kerrygold butter. Kerrygold, I get the salted. And so it's Kerrygold salted butter, and I cut off just 2, if I don't measure it, 2 big wedges. It's a big rectangle block. I would guess this may be 3 tablespoons, maybe 4. I don't think it's quite 4, might be 4. But anyway, I take that and I put that on top there, and I actually take a spoon and I chop up, I just stab the hamburger meat, break it up, and then I put the butter in. And then I come back after about 10 minutes or so. The butter's all melted. And so there's a pool of like salty water and butter in there. Then I get out 5 hippie backyard chicken eggs that I buy off a coworker. She's got very happy hens. She gives them kisses for me. I tell her to. Lots of hugs and kisses from Stephen here. I appreciate those eggs. So I buy the eggs off of her, and then I clean them off. I told her, just don't clean them for me. Just give them to me dirty. So they're dirty eggs sometimes. They got brown, could be poop on them, could be mud. I don't know what it is. Sometimes there's grass or like a little bit of hay, pieces of straw stuck on the eggs. I think it's funny. It proves they're not from the grocery store. So I clean them off, and then I crack them, and I just plop them in the pool of butter and water on top. And then I come back in about 20 or 30 more minutes, and that's actually done. So, and then I just take that back to my office, and I just kind of eat the eggs off the top, kind of, and I don't know, I'll start spooning in there and getting some of the hamburger chunks too. So that is my lunch most days, like almost 5 days a week. The only time I don't have this is if, one, I forgot my lunch, if I forgot to bring my hamburger to work. That happens once in a great while. When that happens, I either fast, or half the time what happens is I go down to our cafeteria, and they named this after me. They call it the Stevenator. It's 2 beef patties by themselves, grilled beef patties, 1 chicken breast grilled by itself, no bun, no sandwich or anything. They do have these grilled chicken sandwiches and what have you. But and they do have regular hamburgers with the bun and all that. But I just get 2 beef patties by themselves, a chicken breast by itself, and they do a very nice grilled salmon with some kind of glaze sauce they put on it that's pretty yummy. I know that's probably a few grams of carbs. I'm sure it's got some sugar in it. But it's pretty much all kind of lean protein, because I know that whatever fat's cooked in there, probably a lot of it disappears in the grill. But I find it better than being hungry at lunch, especially if I just got through running, because a lot of times I run at lunch, and when I run at lunch outside, I may run 4 or 6 miles or whatever it is I'm doing that day, and then I'm kind of hungry when I get and looking forward to eating, and when I've forgotten my lunch, it's kind of hard just to go back to work, shower and go back to work without eating something sometimes. It's just kind of maybe a ritual. I'm sure if I just drank a big glass of water, I would be just fine. It's just some days I just don't have willpower, folks. I just like to go in there and get all that meat from the cafeteria. It's rather expensive. So I don't forget very often. Okay. Well, that's it for my lunch. May talk about running a little bit. So here's my Garmin Connect account. I don't know if I showed this last time, but one thing all my speed work's been doing, I can't say I've had a breakthrough. In fact, I had a negative breakthrough one time. One of these. When you see in my Garmin Connect account 1 repeat quarters, that 1 doesn't mean I ran 1 repeat quarter mile. That means it's 1 in a series of 4 repeat quarter workouts I just have it, so I pick the one and it's on mileage. Excuse me. This 1 repeat quarters is about just a little over 4 miles for the workout. It'll be it's like 10 quarter miles. And then I have walk breaks in between of 1.5 minutes each. So I end up with a little over 4 miles when I do that one. If I do my number 2 repeat quarters, that's more like 6-ish miles. And then I have a number 3, which I think is 8 miles. And then I had a 4, which is, I tried to make it as long as I could, like 14 miles that I did for a long run week or two ago. But hey, if you're wondering about where I'm at my parents' house. So my dad unfortunately had to go to the hospital this evening, so I am on mom sitting duty, and so my mom's asleep, and I will be soon here too. I got to get up early and go to work, and I'll be remoting into work. I'm an IT person, so I can remote into my computer at work, and it's like I'm there, except I'm not there. Okay, so these repeat quarters. This one, I think, yeah, is in my neighborhood. Okay, so I was actually mom sitting that day. This was actually a lunchtime workout during work, I believe. If it was, where's the time? Yeah, 12:44 p.m. And it was pretty warm that day, full sun out. It says 72, but it felt more like 82 or so. It was still pretty warm. It was windy coming from the south. So this is south, and it was going there. And now this road street in my neighborhood is a long, gentle uphill. I wouldn't call it a hill, like you wouldn't do hill work on it, because it's not like, it's about almost a mile long. No, I'm exaggerating. It's about a half mile long. Half mile, very gentle, steady incline of maybe 1 or 2 degrees. Nothing too serious. But it was windy going up that hill too. So there was does it have it on here? Yeah, 14 miles an hour. Yeah, that little arrow there from the south pointing north. There was right in my face, a 14-mile-an-hour wind. So you're going up a slight incline against the wind. That made for some just hideously slow intervals, to the point where I thought, oh my God, I'm regressing. So let me change this to the run. So I stopped at 7 of them because I was so disgusted. But you can tell here. So the first one, I was running into the wind away from my parents. It's actually my parents' house, and I was running back on the second one. So the even number ones, I'm running back towards my parents' house. So I'm going downhill with the wind. So against the wind, uphill, 7:58 pace for the quarter mile. So when I saw that on my watch, when I got done with that first one, I was gassed out. I was huffing and puffing. I was so out of breath. I was glad to get that one over with. I was so glad to hear the watch beeping, saying that interval was about over. And then when I looked down and saw how long it took me to do that, I was like, oh dear God. I mean, I know it's against the wind, and I know this is a slight incline, but it's just a slight incline, and it's not like a 30-mile-an-hour thunderstorm. It's not like I was running into a tornado or something. So I was real disappointed. I thought that'd be more like 7:30 pace, not almost 8-minute pace. So then I turned around, did my minute-and-a-half walk, and then I ran back down and did a 7:11 pace, which is kind of more like it. I would like to have had that a little faster, being that I was going with the wind and slightly downhill. It was pretty ideal. Now, there could have been a chance. I do have to cross through a couple of intersections on this quarter mile coming back towards and going up. So it's same course. So I very well could have had to slow down a little bit for a car to go by or something like that. So that happened because there were a few vehicles driving through the neighborhood that I had to kind of manage, dodge and try not to slow down. I usually don't stop for cars. I just run out of their way. Like if I see a car's coming, I'll switch sides of the road way before they get there. Or I'll hop up on the curb, run through some little grass. Or if I'm in a part of the neighborhood with a sidewalk, I'll just get in the sidewalk. Yes, I really try hard to not miss a step or slow down when I'm watching that watch. So anyway, so as the time went on, let's see, what is this? Number 3, 7:57, damn near as slow. A little slower going back down, but as the other downhill one, a little slower than my other downhill one. Now I sped up on this one, so 7:48. Oh, good, 10 seconds per mile faster that time. And oh, look at that, 7. I did a 7:18. Now, was that back downhill? I'm wondering where I did that one. If I somehow worked in two. Could I have worked in 2 downhill ones? Oh, I know what I did here. I think this last one, I went around the block. Is that what I did? Yes. So this last one, I did this here. So this is slightly downhill, and then I came back up. Coming around here, I came back towards the house. So I was going up and down this street. And then on the last 2, like I ran one probably down here, and then walked back for the break, and then ran the last one around here, kind of continue half of it downhill. And so anyway, I finished hard, and it was all right. But okay, so since then I've done a few more running. I did a few more runs, and that was kind of a bad one. So I've had another, let's see, what's another one? Treadmill running. I did a repeat hill workout. I did a couple of treadmill runnings. I think this was just repeat. What did I do here? Maybe repeat course. This one was a hill, repeat hills. Now these were 3 minutes. Now it's not going to show, I don't think it's going to show much on here because it's not outside. It's not tracking my, it was just it just shows an average. So what I did there, you can see my heart rate, recovering. So these were 3-minute intervals, meaning 3 minutes on. So I did 3 minutes, had the treadmill set 1% incline, and then 3 minutes. So first minute, 1% incline, 8 flat. Then second minute is 2% incline. It just increased it 1 more percent. So I'm running up 2% incline. And then for the third minute, I lay it back to 1 minute or 1 degree incline, and I can actually feel this. That 1 degree makes a difference. So I actually recover in that third minute. And then I, rested and walked put it on 3.5 miles an hour, which is just a kind of a semi-brisk walk for a minute and a half, and then repeat. So did that, and that was a pretty good workout. And I followed that with this morning. Let's see, wait. Activities, all activities. This morning's run was, a little over 4 miles. It was another one, repeat quarters. And I just ran those repeat quarters. This was downtown, so it wasn't flat. There were some hills involved here. No wind to speak. Well, very little wind. There was a 6 mile an hour wind. Yeah, there was a little breeze, but it was nice and cool. Didn't sweat to death. But as you can see, heart rate up, down, because I had my walk recoveries. And let's see, what do these intervals look like? Intervals, and let's just look at the runs because we don't need to see my slow walking in between. 7:18, 7:03. Yeah, see, this is more like it. That was kind of a dud. I think there was a car involved in that one at an intersection. Ran across a red light, and I had to run around behind some cars and do a little zigzag. So that slowed me down a few seconds there. 6:57, kind of late in there. That was pretty good. The very last one here, not the .01. That's after the workout's over, actually. So this 10th one, 6:56. A lot of that one was up a pretty steep hill, so I was really charging up a hill that one. I'm proud of that one. So, like I say, it's like I almost thought I did a regress, whatever it was, unimproved, to put it simply. On the one that was in my neighborhood here, where I was fighting the wind, really, that was piss poor. I felt horrible. And the time was terrible, but maybe it was justified with the wind and the hill. Okay, so, but this is what gives me hope, is I know this is not accurate, but the VO2 max, it's keeping me at a 56. Now, it's been 57 a couple of times. So I've been hovering between 56 and 57 for the last week or two, something like that. It did knock me down. My long trail run knocked me down to, or maybe was it a 4 mile run that I did, that I just did my normal constant pace, a lot slower. Knocked me down to like a 53 for a day, or maybe a couple of days. And then I hit the speed work again, and then it gave me a 56 again. So maybe I am doing okay. So I know this is not accurate as it would be in a lab where you're hooked up to a mask with a measuring your carbon dioxide and that you're exhaling and all that. But it's at least I can see if I'm improving or going downhill, if I'm improving or getting worse. And I think if this thinks I'm improving, well, I'll take that. So I would like to see that as 60 sometime. If I ever get this to say 60 or over 60, I'm going to be a happy camper. But I got to be honest, it's like percentage-wise, that gain of like from 52 that I was stuck at forever for like the last year or 2 years to 57, I sure don't feel like my cardio's gained at all. To be honest, when I'm running these intervals, I'm pretty damn tired at the end of every one of them. They're not getting any easier. I'd expect something like that after doing this so many times. I'd expect it to start getting easier, but it's not. Okay, in fact, I may have bitched about this in another video, and I'm just repeating myself. But that's how I roll. When I get feeling bad about something, I might bring it up more than once. But yep. All right. I think I'll cut it off here. That's how long have I been going? 22 minutes. That is way too damn long for just talking about what I eat at lunch and how my running's been going for the past week. I got to work on this. All right. I'm tired. It's time to go to bed. Okay. Until next time.